I'm just going to do a little add on there. I've started toying around with the chalks, you know, these lovely soft pastels, and I'm using various blues to describe the eucalyptus. I don't know if you can really see there now, but I've just started using a few different shades of blue to describe the discs of eucalyptus flower. Kind of layering over each other there. So I've got 3 or 4 different shades that I'm trying out. I started with oil pastel, but I thought I don't want to make that big a decision about the eucalyptus that I couldn't retract it again after, because I kind of like the initial brush marks to describe them as well, so I don't want to adjust them too much. Really dark one here. It seems a good colour. And although I'm using my right hand, which is my dominant hand, I am twirling the chalk as I use it. I'm using it fairly lightly, you know. So then I've got a fairly loose wrist and taking my time with it and just letting it kind of organically find its way. I feel a little bit like using these to describe other parts too. Let me see. Yeah, like maybe just a little flash of the green to describe the buds of the freesia. There's some nice light areas there. Stem, that freesia, and the buds that are standing up here and there beside them. It's quite a nice colour to bring in. Let's see what else now. I suppose I could too use, if I can find a green that works, I could maybe put some green in as well for the Hypericum berries. Just in the bright bits. Some of them have light falling on them, and they're significantly brighter than the Indian ink that I've used to describe them. I think that green could also be used on some of the freesia as well, the stem maybe. As it enters the jug. And also some of the darker buds too maybe. Just here and there I'm seeing that green. Like Molly said, he said something like all painting is just seeing a colour, putting it down, and then seeing the colour beside it and putting that down. Makes it sound easy. But I can understand what he meant by that, like it's, you know, just to kind of place things one colour after another without thinking of what the object really is. Just simply finding the colour and putting it down, finding the next colour, putting that down. And then keeping the faith seems to be a big part of it too, I reckon. Keeping the faith. There's the underside of a leaf there that's quite light. Maybe a dark side it would help to show off its lightness. So I'll carry on with yeah, there's a dark blue here that works for some of the. Oh, I took the blessed microphone off. Sorry about that. I took the microphone off, so I'd say you wouldn't be able to hear anything I was saying because I was talking very low. See, when I have to go and find things, I take the microphone off and I forget to put it on again then. Sometimes I forget to put it on at all in the first place. Anyway, we've got a kind of a green there. I was just saying how I'm using the soft pastels to find bits, find colours and place them down. Just locating a couple of those Hypericum berries over there as well, the ones that are shooting off in a different direction, by finding the leaves, finding the collar of leaves that surrounds their red berries with a very dark colour. This is a dark blue-green really. I see this in some of these Hypericum leaves as well seem to be that colour. And where the jug, or the inside of the jug looks to be that dark colour as well. Although not everywhere. There's a little patch of something lighter here. Alright, so this dark colour for the leaves I think is helpful. I might outline some of the oak leaves with it too. And I say I could still come back tomorrow, you know, and do something with oil paint or something a little bit more considered in other areas. Somehow the jug is reading as though it's at a weird angle. I suppose it kind of is. Right, maybe, you know, this is a very dark colour, but the piano behind the eucalyptus is very dark and gives a feeling of the eucalyptus being very bright against it. So maybe this dark colour is worth using to explain the outline of the eucalyptus as it meets the piano. Here and there. And even down here too. I mean, that's tabletop really, but I think it helps with the cohesion of the eucalyptus if I continue the same way of applying it, this pattern. If I continue using the same colour and the same line. No, I think a dark oak leafy colour. This is burnt sienna, it might be a bit bright. A little bit bright maybe. But I wanted to kind of do a bit of a line here because I've left too big a space between some of these leaves. I'm not happy with that colour now. It needs to be a darker red brown really. I wonder if this is it or if this is the same. It's pretty much the same. I'll try this one. It's a bit better, yeah, that's kind of what I'm after. It's not that I want to completely get rid of what was done before, but I just want to show that actually these leaves are a bit closer. The dents in the leaves are they're not so far apart from each other. I don't know if that helped or not. It might be useful to let it outline some of the freesia as well, that dark, where the bud extends to meet the rest of the flower. And then I could fill in some of this high up one. I could fill in some of that oak leaf that's right up there with the brown as well maybe. So that we know it's a dark, it's the shadow side of that leaf that we're seeing. And maybe a little bit of the burnt sienna in there would work too. And there is another really bright one that stands out sideways there, somewhere like that. It's all a bit of a jumble, isn't it? What about those berries? A little flash of red here and there, might brighten them up. The light is really fading now, guys, so I think I'll just call it a day. and come back when you can see a bit more clearly what I'm up to. And those of you who watched the Zoom call earlier will know that I haven't done what I said I was going to do, which was to do that little spray of flowers with the stencil. But I'll do that maybe tomorrow. We'll leave that for another day. I'm going to use my non-dominant hand to draw just a little bit of that oak leaf there, just to fill in that space. Maybe a little bit of the oak leaf that's up here as well. There's one that's sailing back into the distance. I mean, things are starting to find a new place in the configuration. I'm not sure it's a botanical illustration. In fact, I am sure it's not. But I'm capturing the essence of it, I think, for myself. I feel, I'm getting what I feel to be here. Best I can. Just put a touch of grey in there so that this reads as background, because that looks like background there to me, behind that leaf. That's kind of nice, that background colour. Looks like it'll work too, to go between bits here. And the eucalyptus over on that side. Sorry, you missed that. In between those eucalyptus leaves, there's that background kind of colour too. It can be handy. And even it's a little bit similar to the colour of the eucalyptus leaves themselves elsewhere. All right. Okay, so I'm going to pull you back. And I maybe turn on the lights so you can see. It's different tones, but you can see a little bit more what happened there in that last little while. A lot of line work and just using the chalk pastels and a little bit of paint. I used some paint to describe the freesias, and a thick yellow-white paint to describe them, and some more white for the background in between the oak leaves. So all the time kind of setting the scene to have some bit of more considered modelling there tomorrow, possibly. We'll see. There are things to look at in the centre there that will, I think, justify closer attention here. Again, we'll see. I've left a big mess now, so I suppose I'll tidy up as best I can and be ready to use it in the morning if I need to. The acrylic should stay wet enough overnight. There we have it. Okay, see you soon. Bye.